You know, I think kick vicars across the globe in the country are going to be super pissed. Why? Because one of their favorite platforms is now in the hands of Elon Musk. And Elon Musk has made his goal as the new head of Twitter to essentially stomp out woke political leftism. And that's what kickback essentially is. No more and no less than serialized leftist wokeism, woke philosophy. I mean, this could be where Musk stomps out every so-called fan of anime who's really nothing more than an activist, every journalist, the activist posing as a journalist, and even the actors and actresses who are nothing more than left-wing activists. This means individuals like Sean Schimmel, Chris Sabat, Monica Rial, Jamie Markey especially, John Michael Tatum. Same here, Evie. Same here. And many others who are a part of the crunchy cabal, as I like to call those actors and actresses who threw Vic under the bus. And you could say the same thing about those VAs at Rooster Teeth, Bang Zoom, Sentai, and maybe the Ocean Group are all going to decide it's time to get off the ship. Question is, where are they going to go? With the exception of Facebook, which is floundering in its own right, they don't have a safe space to post their shit. So where do they go? Well, there is. Okay, I'll admit about Tumblr, but again, the only other option is Instagram, but that's tethered to Facebook. And as I mentioned, Instagram is falling to like Facebook and Meta. Instagram is falling to pieces, Evie. And Tumblr, only crackpots on both sides of the political aisle ever go there. And I don't even use Tumblr, and I don't have a Tumblr account, so I don't bother with that site anyway. And I find it kind of stupid that these people would resort to this sort of shit. And that these people will have been using Twitter for 3.5 years to basically throw Vic's name through them and drag it through the mud. Now it's about time they're losing that ability because now the bullhorn is being taken away from the political left. I mean, their only other option would be to go to Truth Social. But even then, Trump and D'Souza would basically bust them as liars. And believe me when I say this, it took me months of waiting to get my Truth Social account online. I have it, but I don't post there that often. But it took me almost 5 months of waiting to get my Truth Social account online. It took me that damn long. So I'm leaving this in Kickvik's court. Either shut up and confess the truth about the majority of your lies. And I say majority because there is one thing I will hold Vic accountable for, and that's the prostitution he committed several years ago. Did he admit it was a mistake? Yes. Would he ever do it again? No. In my opinion, he wouldn't. If he could go back in time and stop himself from doing that, would he? Possibly. But then again, when you try to alter time, The laws of nature and time travel are concrete. When you try to alter one aspect of the past to change your future, you just end up making an out and making shooting yourself in the foot. I.e., you make an outcome that get an outcome that's just as bad, if not worse, than the outcome you're trying to prevent. That being said, what about Damon Mills? He's admitted what he did, and yet he got off scot free because he's part of the Crunchy cabal. But here's the difference I want to point out. Did both commit a cardinal sin of lust, Vic and Damon? Yes, I do admit this. Now, but here's the difference. With Vic, he knows he did it wrong, but I don't think he had any intention of it to get out of hand as far as he did. And I don't really think he meant to intentionally hurt Michelle when they were engaged. Engaged. No intent whatsoever. Basically, he gave in to a pleasure of the flesh, hiring that prostitute. No more, no less. On the other hand, with Damon, with what he was doing, and there was evidence about it, he was knowingly stalking a kid, knowingly groping him, and doing it with intent and to not to rape him. That is a sin of malice, which goes against nature itself. Violence against nature in its own right. If both died and were condemned to hell, and I'm using the Dante and Alighieri interpretation of hell, Vic would be put in limbo at best, thrown into lust at worst. Because most of his playful flirting with his fan base, it's just that playful flirting. He has no intention of hurting somebody when he does it. Mills, on the other hand, knows full well what he's doing and is going out of his way to hurt people. That would get him in the seventh circle, specifically the sands of abomination. You know who gets condemned there? Those who commit violence against God, nature, and art. And Damon's the middle, a sodomizer. Then again, just about every homosexual on Earth throughout history has been sent to that circle, to the best of my knowledge. And this would include every LGBTQIA plus actor and actress across the board. Once they die, they're going down there too for that crime alone. Though on the other hand, that's for Damon, that's at best. At worst, he's going to the circle of treachery, where he'll be frozen depending on how deep his treacherous depravity. Because you can betray four individuals: kin, countrymen, guests, benefactors. And to an extent, Damon betrayed someone who viewed him as a brother. So he'd be buried up to his neck in ice. Seriously, Evie? The little pussycat used Damon Mills' crime to frame you? What a sick whore. Many of these people that threw Vic under the bus are probably going to be sent to hell because they gave their soul to the world, not to heaven. They prefer putting their jobs over their over their faith, and their crimes over for their perceptions, over the perceptions of the fans. Why do you think people are turning away from these people? Fans are turning away from these people because they've seen now how sick they are. They're thinking logically. There wasn't any evidence to prove Vic committed the crimes he committed. They claim the majority of the crimes that they claim Vic committed. Beyond that prostitute, nothing else popped up. But as far as I'm concerned, for many of these VAs, it's doomsday for their and these activists posing as journalists or fans, it's doomsday for their Twitter accounts. Especially when Musk digs through some of Monica and Jamie's older posts from when the fiasco started. He's gonna nuke their fucking accounts because there's essentially death threats on all of them. And Mr. Musk, blow these whores out of the water is all I'm asking you. Take away their Twitter privilege and make sure they never come the fuck back. I stand with Vic, now, then, forever. Leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. Mets2128 signing out, saying goodbye, good night, and good night. Bang.